What's going on, y'all? This is your boy Scott by Nature TV, and we're here for a brand new episode of Yes for the Mess, where we talk about celebrity gossip, hot topics, and all things reality TV based. What is going on, you guys? Now, before we get into today's mess on this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Tuesday afternoon, let's talk about what we got coming up. Now, as you guys already know, today is Tuesday. And what I mean by today is Tuesday, that means it's Roaster Review Day. Yes, indeed. Myself, Giving You the Real Tea, and Josiah's World TV will be roasting and reviewing SWV and Xscape, the Queens of R&B. Yes, we will. Tonight at 9 p.m., 8 p.m. Central Time, okay? Well, we'll be talking about the second episode that just came out this past Sunday. First of all, before we get into anything, I just want to thank everybody that has tuned in and that's given much support to the Roast and Review platform. We've gotten a lot of DMs, a lot of comments, a lot of people basically loving the show since we've been back and telling us how much they loved it and how they love our love for music, how we were able to tell personal stories as well as, getting and diving into the show. And honestly, we wasn't expecting the response that we've been getting. And from what I see now, we're like 400 views away from like 10K from our very first episode. Like this is but see, the thing is that we're really enjoying this because we're enjoying the show. So it's a big contrast from when we were roasting and reviewing Love and Mirror Chunksville to this show. We actually enjoy this show. We love the groups that's involved, and that's just what it is. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for all the support that you've been giving us. And don't you worry, because we will be back tonight at 9 p.m., 8 p.m. Central Time. And this week we'll be on Giving You the Real Teas platform. The link is already available. It's on my community wall. It's also in the Roasted Review playlist. So if you need it, go to my community wall or go to the Roasted Review playlist and just click on that notification bell. And there you have it. You'll be able to get it so you can get your notification. So make sure you guys tune in tonight. Very excited about doing the show. So with that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and get into the mess. Now, as you guys already know, I've been covering this Xscape drama. I've been covering everything that's been going on with Xscape. I've been covering, the show, all that good stuff. Well, this interview came across my homepage, and it's a 11-year-old interview that Latasha Scott and her husband Rocky Bivens had done on this Atlanta radio station when this was back during the time I remember now. I told you guys that Latasha had a record out back in 2012 and it was called Bad Timing. All right, this is back when she was getting ready to put out an album called Truth in the Booth. And she also had a record with Wale called Complicated. I did tell you guys this on multiple videos, right? So throughout this whole interview, it was given bitter. Latasha barely said a word. It was mainly Rocky Bivens sitting on here, dragging Kandi for filth, talking about her like a dog. And just, you could tell by the way he was talking that was a major beef and there was a whole lot of drama with that. So what we're going to do now, with all of that, I'm gonna do commentary on this interview, and I felt like this interview needed to be talked about. It needed to be discussed because this is a part of Xscape history, and this is a part of why Kandi is the way that she is with Latasha. So, with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get into this interview. We're gonna listen to it. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna give our commentary as we go. And yes, honey, it's a lot to unpack. So let's go ahead and get into this interview, and I'll be right back. All right.
But come on, I mean, I've never been a digging personality. I've never been one to try to, put some mess out on the street. Right. But the bottom line is you all had something really great going. Mm-hmm. And when you got something really great and you were selling dadgum music like crazy. Hell, on the Quiet Storm, I played 5 or 6 cuts of y'all every dadgum night.
Yeah, every show we open up with y'all.
Okay.
The drag girl.
So let's keep it real. You the manager, what you ain't got nothing to lose. What was the deal? Put the camera on. Come move the camera on. Come on. You don't want to be on camera? Well, hell, take my mic. Just say it. Just say it.
Just honestly speaking, the girls with Kandi, I'm gonna say Kandi, she just didn't appreciate the fact that Tasha was moving to the front of the scene. And it bothered her. She said that they weren't Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5, but when Babyface or Joe or Jermaine would say, or Warren Campbell would say, we want Tasha to lead the song, she had a problem with it. She would walk out the studio, she would throw fits. They'll have meetings, and she just had a big problem with it. I'm not ashamed to say it because it's what happened. Exactly. And Kandi has done a million interviews down in Tasha, bragging about how much money she's made doing reality TV or writing songs. But if the truth was told, she know how she got to write those songs, and those songs didn't last.
I had to stop it right there. As you can see, the interview just started and Rocky is already on his BS. Okay. First of all, what do you mean by if the truth was told? We all know how she got to write those songs. What are you insinuating and what are you implying? Are you implying that she had to fuck her way up to the top for her to write those songs? Is that what you're trying to say? Because that's what it sounds like to me. That's what it's given. It's given she slept her way to the top. That's what it's given. And that's what it sounds like you're trying to say about her. Okay. And then you said those songs didn't last. I can tell that Rocky is a hater and he's a bitch because how you gonna say those songs didn't last? No Scrubs is still a classic, still being played, still being streamed. Bills, Bills, Bills is still a classic, still being played, still being streamed. Um, what else she got? Bugaboo, still being streamed, still being played. Single for the Rest of My Life is a classic. There You Go with Pink is a classic. No Scrubs was just sampled by what is it? By Ed Sheeran for Shaping My Heart, and she's still getting a big check from it. Like for you to say those songs didn't last, what exactly are you trying to say? See, I get that you're trying to defend your wife or whatever you're trying to do, but at the same point in time, though, that don't give you the right to try to down somebody else and their success because your wife ain't got none. So please stop. Just stop. It's giving bitter bitch for me. Let's continue.
You know what I'm saying? Tasha never said anything. I was watching an interview on thisis50.com. The guy said, "Why did Xscape break up?" And Kandi said, he was like, "Was it the big girl?" She said, "Yeah." Now, this your group mate. Kandi, nobody liked Kandi. And Tasha and them treated her like a sister. I don't care how much money she made. When Candy's brother passed, they were there for her. That was Candy's life, her brother. Kandi should have put all her differences to the side and said, regardless of what we went through as a group, you all are my sisters. So I don't care how much money I make or what's going on. At the end of the day, we have a history together. But instead,
I had to stop it right there too. So, despite the fact that at that time Tamika had made up those lies about Kandi, Latasha did interviews bashing Kandi, all of that stuff, you feel like she is supposed to put all of that to the side because they have a history. The history was gone at that particular moment. And at that moment, she didn't owe Tasha any damn thing. And that whole toxic mentality because of the history that you got with somebody, that means you can't speak your truth. You got me bent. You got me bent, Rocky. Okay. Like, who, like, child, what? Those are my sisters or whatever. I don't. Oh, the sisterly love wasn't there when they were sitting up there making up lies and trying to do everything that they could to put her out there as a slut bucket. Okay, but you wasn't saying nothing about that. Rocky, bye. Continue.
she took joy in making a lot of money and thinking that Tasha didn't have no money, thinking they were broke, thinking just because she did what she did, she was the cream of the crop. Hey, none of these girls are, I mean, well, some of them are true housewives, but you know, they came out singing. So, you know, give people what they want, the voice. And that's what Tasha's coming back to give them. And, you know, Kandi just never appreciated it. And Tamika said it about Kandi sleeping with Jermaine. Hey, it is what it is. You know, it was what it was.
So I was on to something. Oh, God. I knew it.
Yeah.
So,
Diana Ross slept with who? Gary.
so, you know,
They always thought that's the only way you can become the lead singer. You got to sleep with. Thank you for that information.
but
That's not the only way you
y'all
can
ask
become a lead singer.
yourself this question. I want to be real. Now, Tasha signed to So So Def. The big problem happened on Traces on My Lipstick in 1998. All Tasha said, I never forget the meeting. She said, I just want to express myself. Since everybody's having a problem with me lead singing, I just want to do a solo album. Jermaine said, I think that's great. Let's do it. Hey, girls, we're going to do the fourth Xscape album when she finishes because y'all keep complaining about her singing. So let her do an album. So Kandi had a problem with that. I mean, that was the beginning of the end. I'm talking about all hell broke loose. And it just so happened Tasha led on all the songs on Trace on My Lipstick, every song. And that was the problem. So she wanted to do a solo album so that the group wouldn't be slighted. Well, what happened was Jermaine signed Tasha through Columbia. Kandi found a way to get signed to Columbia, who Jermaine dad was the head of Black music of Columbia. So then they signed.
Now, as you can see, we just talked about this yesterday in one of my videos, right? Where Kandi was on Speak On It and she explained how she got her deal with Columbia. As you can see, Rocky is sitting up here insinuating some other he just flat out said Kandi found a way. Kandi found a way to get signed. She found a way. How did she find a way, Rocky? Kandi found a way to get, whatever. Still trying to insinuate some BS on this girl, right? The girl just explained that because of the songwriting, because of the stuff that she did with Destiny's Child, she was able to get a record deal through Columbia, the parent label. But see, child, that's why I felt like this interview was imperative for me to do commentary on, even though it is old. Yeah, let's get into it.
They signed Kandi directly. Now, how is it that Kandi's album came out and Tasha's album never came out? Tasha signed to So Def, Jermaine's company, which was a subsidiary of Columbia.
Right.
Columbia signed Kandi directly. Kandi's album came out. Tasha's never came out. Now, people put two and two together all you want to. I'm telling you what it really is. See, Tasha be politically correct when we talk about it. I don't have nothing to lose.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She don't either because her talent speaks for herself. But I'm tired of, for 12 years, this girl had to watch Tiny and Kandi win Grammys. Kandi gave Kandi, she supported. Kandi gave Tiny writers credit. Tiny made it clear, I ain't write much, but she did it to spite Tasha.
Do y'all hear that? Do y'all hear that? He said for 10, 12 years, Latasha had to sit there and watch Kandi and Tiny win Grammys. Do y'all hear that? Tasha had to sit there and watch Kandi and Tiny win Grammys. And Kandi gave Tiny writer's credit. And he said that Tiny would tell you herself that she didn't write a lot, but Kandi only gave Tiny writer's credit just to spite Tasha. Man, what the are you even talking about, Rocky? Like, are you serious? Like, what are you even talking about, bruh? Her giving Tiny writer's credit. What does that have to do with Latasha? Tasha had nothing to do with the songs that Kandi and Tiny wrote together. Why would Tasha have anything to do with that? Like, I don't get it. It doesn't matter if Tiny did not write a lot. The fact is she wrote. That's why she got writer's credit. You get writer's credit when you arrange a vocal. You get writer's credit when you do production. You get writer's credit when you write on the record. It doesn't matter how much you wrote, as long as you wrote on a record, it doesn't matter. So what are you talking about, Rocky? Child, I'm telling you, something's wrong with this young man. Something wrong with him, child. Like, I don't understand it. I just don't understand. I just don't get nor understand it, child. You want to blame everything on Kandi and Tiny, child, talking about she had to watch Kandi and Tiny make money and win Grammys and stuff. Whose fault is that? It ain't their fault they won the Grammy. It ain't their fault they was out here making money and Tasha was sitting at home watching them do it. What are you talking about? Let's continue, y'all.
So they won a Grammy. Tasha still supported. They were on TV every day. Tasha still supported. For 10, 12 years, she found herself. She trained. She became a vegetarian, just took care of, her son and just was being true to herself. But every time she turned on the blog site, the TV, Kandi talking about her. A certain person wanted to go solo. Why are you so bitter? You still trying to make people think it was Tasha when it was really her. At the end of the day,
you're saying Kandi's so bitter, but sound like you the one that's a lemon, her, honey. Okay, like you talking about Kandi so bitter, baby. You are mad.
It was her. Well, they came back
solo and came back. So I don't.
Matter of fact, Xscape came back with "What's Up." Kandi didn't want to come back because she was upset because when they decided to do the group, they were going to do the group. Tasha had said, "I'm not going to do my album. We'll do the group." But Kandi they gave her a leaving member notice, so she was put out the group. Well, she never, that ticked her off. So I guess when she got a little money, she felt like she was going to rub it in and make Tasha the victim or make it seem like it was Tasha. So I'm telling all the fans, I'm telling you straight up and down, and you can put the camera on me if you want to. Tasha did not break up the group Xscape. She did not break up the group Xscape.
That kind of makes sense when you talk about when the What's Up record came up, when you bringing that up, because I remember being when I was at CBS and that record came out, and I was playing on the mix show at 5 o'clock, and my program director came in to me and was kind of he never said don't play the record, but he asked me why I was playing the record. I said because the record was hot, and it seemed like he was catching grief from somebody at Columbia,
right,
that was hating on that particular record.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, when it came out, because I know how those politics go, and I'm like, okay. You're threatening to not have any of your Columbia artists come to a radio station because I'm playing this one record.
Yeah.
What's the problem? What's the real problem?
Man, it just got down.
So y'all trying to insinuate that Kandi was the reason why the What's Up record wasn't being played on the radio. I don't even think that Kandi was even with Columbia at that moment. Kandi didn't have no record deal in 2005. When that song came out, like this was 5 years after Kandi's solo album even dropped. This was during the Don't Think I'm, like 5 years after Don't Think I'm Not. Like, you know, Xscape came back out when I was going to the 11th grade with What's Up, which is one of my favorite Xscape songs, by the way. But no, like, are y'all really trying? How much power do y'all think Kandi got? That's what I'm trying to figure out. How much power do you guys think that Kandi has at this particular point for y'all to be sitting up here trying to make it seem like she is the one all be all to everything? Like, y'all give her way too much credit that y'all try to downplay the girl and make it seem like she don't deserve any of the success that she got, but y'all giving it to her because y'all make it seem like she just, child. Let's continue.
Down and dirty, and you know, and I'm glad Tasha's taking the high road. She won't speak on a lot of things, but you know, sometimes it's good for people to know, because you know, I mean, for the last 10-12 years, how many years y'all been seeing Kandi on TV and Housewives and acting like she Miss Goody Two Shoes? She's not.
She is. You missed a couple of episodes.
Yeah,
you found out now.
Whatever. Anytime you tell somebody you can take care of everybody in the god doggone room, that's just that ain't something you say.
Honestly, by now.
It's the bitterness for me. Yeah, she said if she wanted to take care of everybody in this mother, she could. She said that to Marlo because Marlo was disrespecting her. What do you mean that ain't something you say? See, it's like the bitterness, child. The bitterness.
There should have been a reunion with Xscape on Housewives, but since it hadn't been a reunion with Xscape on Housewives, we kind of figured it was something going on.
Ask this question: why never Tasha on any of the shows?
Like, why not?
Why not? Why not? Why not even talk about them? If you look at the introduction to any of their shows, they don't even talk about where they came from. The group Xscape.
If we look at it from a business perspective and whatnot, they gain more ratings just because of that.
Yeah, I mean,
why not?
BT asked the other day, would it be Xscape? You know, they.
So he wants to know. Ask yourself why Latasha is not on any of the episodes of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Why would she be? Why does she need to be a part of it? That's not her lane. That's not her thing. That's Kandi's thing. Her and Kandi weren't friends. They didn't have a relationship. Why would she be mentioned? Why does she have to talk about Xscape? Everybody knows that that's where Kandi came from. She made it clear that she was in the group Xscape when she first came on the show. Why does Latasha have to be on the show? Let's be honest.
They came to Tasha, you know, she got something that she's doing at the awards, and they like, can we get an Xscape reunion? VH1, can we get an Xscape reunion? But why are they asking this? Because Tasha has a record out now, and you feel what Xscape brought to the table, singing. Now they ain't asked this
and
when you just
voice,
her voice.
That's the thing. I mean, she was the one, and I'm gonna scream on somebody's mic. But she was the one. I want you to keep yours. But I mean, she was the one that had the voice, and you and your sister, you all had the voice. I mean, you can listen to some of her new stuff. It's hot for the moment because she was on The Real Housewives, right? But it doesn't last. I mean, because she doesn't have the voice. If she have the writing skills, possibly. But the voice doesn't. The voice doesn't last.
Well, we can talk about the writing too. Everybody think Kandi is a great writer. Tasha was writing when it was Xscape, and then she would. Now Kandi did write some, but she had a problem with Jermaine letting Tasha write all the time. Like, this is just the truth nobody's willing to talk about. I'm not downing them. I'm telling the truth because she had a platform where she could have taken a high road and said, you know, I missed the group. We were great. She won't talk about Xscape. She won't.
why would she say that she missed the group when she don't with them? I don't get Rocky's whole plight right about now. Like what? Like what are you even? What? Why would she say she missed the group when she don't? Like you want her to say all this positive stuff about this group when the experience wasn't positive. But okay, Rocky, whatever, child.
She won't mention them. Why are we even talking about Kandi? Because she was in Xscape. You know what I'm saying? Kandi is doing what she really was all about all along: sex toys.
No, but from what you said, Kandi has gotten to where she is because her little potato salad has been around. And now she no longer has potato salad, she has mashed potatoes.
Well, I'm just saying,
Daddy beat it up too?
I'm not. No comment.
All I'm saying.
I'm not.
Going somewhere.
Hold on.
He opened up something.
Yeah, I'm not even going there.
I mean, and the bottom line is, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
The bottom line is, it's not about being messy. At least for some of us.
Right.
Yeah, that's how I make my living. Don't hate on my hustle.
Right.
Okay.
It's not about being messy, but I think as a promoter of good music, by being a personality,
Right.
whether it was back in the day when I was on the Quiet Storm, and what we're doing here today is helping people understand why such a talented group that had such a repertoire of hits just left, just gone.
Yeah.
It definitely wasn't by choice for me.
No, I went by
Lord
choice.
have mercy.
Not for
Now
me.
you got my wheels spinning over here.
I mean, the truth should be told though. Like if the group is gonna get back together, they should address what it really was. Kandi don't have to, like you say, she don't need Xscape. I mean, she probably made whatever money. She's making a lot of money doing the sex toys, whatever. But at the end of the day, the fans are the ones that.
That's who got us to where we are now.
Be the first one to try to put you on stage because of the love that I have for quality music, and great voices and artistry. Will be the first, like, let's do it, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I look at it like TLC. TLC did this reality show, trying to replace The Voice. So I'm saying y'all could get together and go and do a show, because y'all really mean. I don't know if I really want to.
I think without her. But honestly speaking, the fans want to see the whole group.
But if you tell the story and the fans get an understanding of why she's not there, I'm sure they won't mind her being replaced too.
Well, they probably would, but you know what? Xscape overall, the 4 original members, and I have no dislike toward any of the girls because I did manage the whole group. What I'm saying is, collectively, they were the best female group vocally that I've ever seen assemble.
Yes,
but
that's why we're so adamant about trying to bring the thing back.
If
because
plan A don't work, you gotta have a plan B.
We need to start.
See, if plan A don't work, you have to have a plan B.
Yeah.
And if the bitch is cut up, I say replace her.
But I mean, the thing of it is when you start a campaign, it has to start from something,
right?
And if the 3 of you, because let's keep it real, he can play how many 6, 7, 8 songs where it's just you and your sister blowing everybody away. So that's the basis of the group right there.
Hold on.
What?
But if we're gonna try to get the group together, you cannot just put her out there like that.
Yeah, you can.
That's why they hating on her now, girl.
Well, I mean, but the bottom line of it is you put what you have to work with, because it's still quality.
But can I ask y'all a question?
You have folks saying, well, what? Well, why? Well, what? That gets attention.
But can I ask a question? What about?
We don't want to ask the question to you.
Right. No, I got a question. I got an honest question. Okay, so Beyonce left Destiny Child, right? And she went on to have a very successful, lucrative career, right? And that's only because Beyonce knew the talent that she had, and she was willing to go to any extreme to show that you guys like me just as much as you like the group. Well, I think that the fans are gonna enjoy young and old Tasha just as much now. The whole purpose of her dropping TNTB, which stands for Truth in the Booth, and that happened just from her being in the studio. And one of the engineers was like, "You don't use auto-tune or nothing?" He was like, "Nah." He was like, "You're recording these songs in like an hour, like, and you're stacking and matching the vocal." He was like, "That's unheard of." He's like, "That's the truth." So that's how we came up with it. But that's what Joe and Babyface and Jermaine Dupri knew, and R. Kelly, they all knew that. And that's what the girls knew. So I think when she puts out Truth in the Booth, which has, probably 2 features of them on it, One of them for sure right now is Wale, which is current. She's just trying to reach the youth and say, hey, look, you don't have to do auto tunes. Whoever you are and you have talent, I'm going to sing these records. And the same way you like Nicki Minaj, I'm going to put out a free album, a mixtape, which no R&B artist is doing. They don't want to do it because they can't record as fast, or they're afraid that they may take a good song and don't profit from it. Well, she about to put out a mixtape that's just as good as Xscape's album and give it away. And guess what? When her album comes out, if you really like music and you really enjoyed this, which is the same thing Nicki Minaj did, Chris Brown, Trey Songz, Drake, and all of them, they reached the masses by saying, we confident in our trade and our gift. She's confident. She's back. So give it away.
Although you don't do all these little gimmicks and everything, know from the get-go that you up against that. Yes. And then you have to have in your mind your own definition of what your success is. Don't let somebody else define what, you know, when you become successful. Long as you have your definition of what success is and you are happy with your success, that's all that matters.
Hello. Because because one of the things that you talked about was esteem, you know, having self-esteem, and I'm sure the industry didn't help it, you know, at all.
You know, I was known as the big girl for a long time. People didn't even know my name, and that's why I said, okay, I got to get out there, and I'm Latasha.
I mean, but I mean the struggles that even what's her name, Kelly Price, phenomenal singer.
Yes.
Cut the mic off and go on at it, girl. But unfortunately, that big girl stigma, you know, hung on. It's a bad thing, but unfortunately it's reality.
And I mean, with Oprah, because the winner of the Oprah talent search, that girl was big. Now, if you can't be successful and Oprah is backing you, then there's really something wrong with the industry.
Right, it is.
So the plan is,
what's the plan?
What's the plan? What's going on with Latasha and the plan in reintroducing herself? And as a matter of fact, we got the single. Tell us about the single. Herb going to play it, and then
that was pretty much the end of the interview. Now, this is what I gathered from this interview, you guys. I just feel like at this particular moment, this was like 2012, 2013, around the time Latasha was getting on R&B Divas or whatever. And this was 2012. I'm sorry, 2012. Like a year before she got on R&B Divas. I'm sorry. Around the time that the money was allegedly stolen. Okay. So, I feel like there was bitterness, and there is still feelings involved about Latasha not being the superstar that she thought that she was going to be. And here's my thing. Like I've always said, when you're in a group, you're always going to have some inspirations of things that you want to do outside of the group, right? Right. Okay. So, for example, Josiah is a part of Roast and Review. Josiah is a part of Whether You Like It or Not panel. Josiah does Boys Night Out. There are aspirations of things that he wants to do outside of us, and that's why he got his own platform to do that. All of us have our own platforms. When we come together as a group, we're doing everything together as a group. When we do our own stuff, we're doing what we want to do as our own selves. So there's nothing wrong with doing solo albums, and when you're a part of the group, there's nothing wrong with doing any of that. The thing about it is, it's the way you do it, and it's the way you handle it. And Latasha thought that she was going to be Beyonce. Latasha thought that she was going to be Beyonce when she don't have the personality of Beyonce. She doesn't have the creativity of Beyonce. She doesn't have the broad appeal as Beyonce. She thought that she was going to be the biggest thing smoking, and it turns out that she was the biggest thing flopping. So at the end of the day, I feel like her and Rocky resented Kandi for that, and they thought that Kandi wasn't going to go anywhere. And just to hear the way that he was speaking of her, talking about we had to sit back and we had to watch Kandi, you know, make all this money and win these Grammys and do this and do that. It sounded like y'all was mad that y'all had to watch this girl become successful, despite the fact that y'all tried to bash her and make her out to be some sex crazed slut that had to sleep her way to the top. That's what y'all tried to do, and because it didn't work, y'all mad about it. What y'all need to do is give it up and just be mad at yourselves. Latasha is the one that continues to use Xscape as a springboard for a solo career that nobody wants but her. She's the one that continues to use this group whenever they get to the top of their game. She wants to go solo. She has these solo aspirations. I feel like this. If you want to go solo, go on and go solo. Do your thug thizzle. Even Left Eye wanted to go solo. And just like T-Boz had said, you can go solo, but just don't quit on us. Meaning, you can go solo, do your solo endeavors, do the things that you want to do, because me and Chili may not want to do those things. And so you go out and do that, but don't quit on us. Latasha feels like she's the one all be all. When the group gets back together, they become relevant again. They sell records again. They sell out shows again. Now she wants to take the opportunity. Okay, I'm going to take this opportunity. And now that we got a reality show, and I'm going to use it as a springboard so I can get my album out, because I don't really need these girls no way. Okay, I'm going to use it as a springboard to get my album out, because I don't need these girls. I don't need them no way. I don't need them. And she wants to leave the group altogether because she thinks that she's the best thing about the group, and she's not. When we talking about at this particular point, you think that people going to buy that gospel album when you're in the era of today, when you're on reality TV and people buy into likability. If people don't like you, if you're not likable, they're not going to buy anything that you sell. They don't give a damn how good the music is. When you're not likable, no one wants to care. And no one will care about what you got going on. That's even with YouTube. If you don't have a likable personality, people are going to be annoyed with you. If you don't have a likable personality, then people are not going to want to watch your stuff. They're not going to want to support you because you're not likable. And that's just what it is. You're not likable. And I feel like that's why I've been here for so long, and I've been able to manage to grow, even with me being on here for a long time, because not everybody gets to last on YouTube for 10 and 12 and 13 years and still be able to grow. Like for me and I could just speak for me, from my vantage point, I've been able to grow by simply rejuvenating myself and just rebranding myself as something else. And that's how I was able to continue to grow, because a lot of us have been here for a long time. And sometimes if you've been here for a long time and you've never really had a chance to really grow, you get stuck. And I can honestly say that I haven't been stuck. I mean, my channel has been taking off for the last 3 years. It didn't start taking off till I got to the 10-year mark, which is crazy, but that's what happens. But I think it's the likability factor. I do think that while I have my flaws and while I have things that I have to work on with my attitude, people find me endearing. I've heard people say that a lot. They find me endearing. They find me likable. So even with the flaws, the personality flaws that I may have that I own, they still want to support me. So when you don't have that likability factor, they're not going to support you. And that's just the truth. That's just the truth of the matter. So yeah, Latasha's trying to sell this damn gospel album, and she's a whole demon within herself. And ain't nobody gonna want to buy no damn gospel album from Latasha. But y'all, I just want to know what y'all got to say. This video is a premiere. So I'm pretty sure y'all are in this in that comment section, just going off, just reading down in that comment section. I'm pretty sure y'all are. But this is an interview from back in 2012 when Latasha and Rocky went on this Atlanta radio station, dissing Kandi, dragging her for filth. And if you're watching a replay of the premiere, just put it in the comments. Let's talk about it, you guys. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Now, before we get up out of here, like I said, you guys, remember that tonight is Roast and Review. And it will be on Giving You the Real Teas platform. We'll be airing tonight live at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. That's 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central time. Make sure you guys are tuned in so you guys can see us roast review the second episode of SWV and Xscape, the Queens of R&B. Make sure you guys are watching, okay? Expect a pretty good show, all right? Also, make sure you guys tune in for the Chasing Dallas panel that involves myself, Terrence, Jamar, Tramel, and guest appearances from Josiah. This week, the Chasing Dallas panel will be on T's page because I'm going to be out of town. After tomorrow, I'm going to be out of town because tomorrow my last day of work. So Thursday night, I'm going out of town. So I'm not going to be able to do the panel. But make sure you guys are tuning in for that as well. So with that being said, you guys, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, rate, comment, subscribe, and share this video. And also click on the notification bell so you can be notified whenever a video drops. If you want to follow me on any form of social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, and my TikTok will be down below in the description box. With that being said, you guys, your boys up out here. Rest in peace to my girl Danita. And if you are in the comment section if you are in the chat right now during this premiere, please leave blue hearts in the chat as you guys pop on out. I'm out of here, you guys. Until roasted review tonight, I will holler at you guys later. Bye, y'all.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Tremel. I just wanted to say that I have a new project that's out. It's called Mixed Feelings. It's on all streaming platforms. I would hope that you would go and check it out. It's a really good feel of an album. It's got everything you need and more. It's got R&B, it's got a little bit of pop, it's got a little bit of hip hop. It's everything that you need and more. It's out all streaming platforms, like I said. Please check me out, and you can also follow me at IAM_Tremel. That's IAM_TRAMEL. Check me out. I hope to hear from you.